At the beginning of the episode, Reiji, Noera, and Mina are preparing to go on a picnic. Mina explains that she barely traveled before dying, so she wants to visit the lake in the middle of the woods, which was the only place she visited earlier with her family and has fond memories with them. As they are about to leave, they are stopped by Egil, who eagerly wants to join them. Upon reaching the lake, everyone gets fascinated with its beauty and tranquility. However, Reiji feels that the place might be unsafe, as it is utterly quiet, and there are signboards warning the presence of beasts and monsters. When Reiji worries, Egil assures he'll fight and drive off the beasts and keep everyone safe. Later, as they snack by the lake, Mina is overwhelmed and starts crying as she thinks of her mother. Meanwhile, Egil is ecstatic to attend his first picnic. After some nibbles, Reiji invites Egil to go fishing with him. While the two guys try to spot the fish, Mina and Noera prepare to go swimming. The girls get inside the lake and start to play with each other. Meanwhile, Reiji gets an idea to use his fish-attracting medicine. As soon as he throws the medicine, hooked into a fishing rod in the lake, a giant fish falls into the trap. Since the fish is heavy to pull alone, Reiji is assisted by Noera and Mina. After some effort, Reiji finally succeeds in pulling the fish out to the ground, accidentally dropping it over Egil. Surprisingly, the fish transforms into a girl, who yells at Reiji for fishing her up. When Egil wakes up, he gets enraged and suggests Reiji get rid of the girl. Scared, the fish girl hides behind Reiji and reveals that she's Vivi, a spirit of the lake. Meanwhile, Noera warns Egil not to threaten Vivi and asks her to join them for lunch. Vivi thinks that they are pretending to be friendly so that they can belittle her later. However, when Noera gets friendly, assuring everyone will be nice to her, Vivi joins them. After Vivi eats many sandwiches, Mina asks why the giant fish of the lake is still hungry, to which Vivi explains that she can't eat the small fish because they are her friends. Furthermore, Vivi explains that she used to eat the offerings left by the humans, but now that they have stopped leaving those, she is hungry most of the time. Upon listening to Vivi, Mina says that she heard about a shrine near the lake a long time ago. Turns out humans came to the shrine believing the spirit living there will fulfill their wishes. Although Vivi was considered a powerful spirit, all she did was eat the offerings and never returned the favors for the humans. Over time, the humans started to think of her as a disgraceful spirit and lost faith in her. Once the people stopped coming, the place got occupied by monsters. Explaining her failure, Vivi breaks down and is worried if Reiji and his friends will laugh at her for being a worthless spirit. Suddenly, Vivi turns into a water ball because she can't maintain her physical form unless her body temperature remains low. Since it is a hot, sunny day, she transforms. Wasting no time, Reiji throws her into the water, helping her to turn back into her spirit form. Following this, she decides to stay in the lake but asks Reiji to join them for fishing. The group catches a lot of fish by using Reiji's medicine, Big Catch Buddy. Since it's too much for Reiji and his friends, Reiji offers the remaining fish to Vivi, asking her to eat them whenever she's hungry. However, Vivi believes Reiji wants something in return. When the other people came to her with offerings, they prayed for something. Some prayed for rain to end drought. But Vivi is upset, saying she can't fulfill their wishes as she's not a god. Feeling sad for Vivi, Reiji assures that he doesn't want anything in return and holds her hand, referring to her as his friend. Noera and Mina also show their keen interest in being friends with Vivi. Surprisingly, Egil joins in to impress Noera. Afterwards, when Vivi worries about not being able to see her new friends often, Reiji offers her a part-time job at his drugstore. Since Vivi loses physical form when it's hot, she hesitates. That's when Reiji applies his Sweetheart cooling gel on Vivi's hand to lower her body temperature, and it works. After 3 days, Vivi joins Reiji's drugstore as a part-time employee, and Reiji assigns Egil, who is ready to do anything to amaze Noera, to train her. Later, Annabelle and Paula arrive at the drugstore to ask Reiji to make a medicine that makes girls pretty. He prepares a cream that dissolves hair and suppresses hair growth. When he gives the cream to the girls, they are very amazed and grateful. Next morning, we find out that Noera has used the cream in her tail and lost some fur. When Reiji expresses his concern, saying the cream suppresses hair growth, Noera breaks down. Hence, Reiji prepares a serum for Noera that promotes hair growth. In no time, Noela gets her usual fluffiness in her tail, and she becomes very happy. In the following scene, Reiji watches Annabelle training Noela, Mina, and Vivi harshly and pities the girls. Annabelle orders the girls to run around the town. Meanwhile, Noela drags Reiji with her, asking him to run together. When they finish running, they are all exhausted except Noela. Annabelle orders them to do push-ups and sit-ups, but Reiji excuses himself, saying he has to prepare a medicine that aids in muscle growth. So Annabelle allows him to leave. Upon arriving at the drugstore, Reiji prepares a power potion that builds the muscle easily without working out hard. Afterwards, Reiji returns to Annabelle's mercenary camp with his new discovery. As soon as he shows the power potion, Noela drinks it. As a result, she immediately becomes muscular and her voice gets deep and manly. Not only that, she starts to hallucinate that her biceps are speaking to her. Reiji is even more shocked when he sees a muscular Mina in front of him. Looking at the strong effect of the potion, Reiji suggests Annabelle and her associates to only drink it diluted. Thankfully, Mina and Noela's muscle high lasts only for an hour, and their bodies become normal. Later, Reiji carries an exhausted Vivi on his back and walks to the pharmacy with Mina and Noela. Next day, Egil is upset that Noela has no interest in him and shares it with Reiji. Additionally, he asks Reiji to prepare a medicine that progresses friendships. As Reiji suggests that friendship isn't developed by medicine, he agrees to help Egil have a good rapport with Noela. Afterwards, Reiji goes to Noela to talk about Egil, but she explains that she has an instinctive aversion towards Egil. Furthermore, Noela describes that she hates when Egil fawns upon her. When Noela states that she doesn't like how Egil smells, but only likes Reiji, the latter gets an idea and prepares a gene fluid that contains his gene. Reiji gives the fluid to Egil to sprinkle it on his food and eat it, in order to smell like Reiji, which Noela finds pleasant. Also, Reiji suggests that after a week of the fluid's consumption, Egil's cells will modify and he will start to smell like Reiji. After a week, Reiji plans to play a game in which a blindfolded Noela has to identify him with his smell. Initially, Noela is confused between Reiji and Egil because they smell similar. However, she manages to recognize Reiji when Egil starts panting after seeing Noela so close to him. When the game is over, Reiji asks Noela to be friends with Egil. Noela, being obedient and loyal to her master, agrees and shakes hands with Egil. In the following scene, Reiji and Mina worry about Paula, who hasn't been around for a week. Later, Reiji visits her tool store and finds her studying for her item identification license renewal. Since shops holding this license are officially recognized, customers can do business with full trust. However, she has a lot to study and is scared she will fail the test. So she pleads with Reiji to make some medicine that will help her pass the test, or else she'll lose her shop. Reiji agrees and rushes for his pharmacy since her exam is tomorrow. Later that evening, Reiji prepares a medicine that helps to strengthen the memory power for 24 hours and prevent from forgetting what they have learned. Soon, Noela takes the medicine and drops it at Paula's place. Several days later, Paula arrives at the drugstore with her renewed license and thanks Reiji for helping her in the last moment. When she asks to kiss Reiji, Noela stops her. Later, when Mina prepares the lunch and they are all about to eat, Egil and Vivi also join them. In the next scene, Vivi requests Reiji to make something that prevents UV rays from causing spots, wrinkles, sagging, and aging of the skin. Reiji tries to give it a shot and begins to experiment. Soon he ends up making a sunscreen gel and gives it to Mina and Vivi. After applying the gel, the girls play happily outside in the sun. Later, Noela also applies it and feels beautiful. In the following scene, Elaine invites Reiji, Mina, and Noela to a party. Initially, Reiji refuses, but after Mina and Noela convince him, he agrees. Afterwards, Egil arrives at the party and wants to accompany the trio at the party, since he is also invited by Elaine. While Mina and Noela drag Egil to another room, Daz and Maz arrive at the drugstore for Reiji's help. Turns out the guys, including Annabelle, are also invited to the party. Daz explains that he can't handle alcohol but wants to show off to Annabelle at the party. He requests Reiji to prepare a medicine that can increase his alcohol tolerance so that he can escort Annabelle back to barracks after the party like a gentleman. Thus, Reiji agrees and starts his preparation. After a few hours, Reiji comes up with a medicine that improves liver function, preventing alcohol-related sickness and hangovers. So he sends Noela to drop the medicine to Daz. In the meantime, Mina and Reiji decide to dress up and get ready for the party. Excitedly, Mina goes towards the basement and gets a 100-year-old dress, which looks stained and damaged. However, Reiji, who has a solution for everything, gives her a dress cleaner that restores the dress quality. After Noera arrives back at the drugstore, she finds Mina beautifully dressed for the party. When the two girls try to check on Reiji, they find him changing the dress and get embarrassed. Reiji puts on Mina's father's 100-year-old suit that she cleans and restores with the dress cleaner. After Reiji comes out of his room, Mina and Noera glance at him with love as he looks wonderful in the suit. Angel is so amazed to see Reiji suited up and compliments him. Elsewhere, Paula finds Angel's servant putting missing posters of Angel on the street walls. After explaining that she knows Angel, Paula takes the servant to Reiji's drugstore. Upon dropping the servant to the drugstore, she leaves. Later, when Angel tries to demean the servant, Reiji scolds him and asks him to be obedient or else he'll fire Angel from the job. Scared, Angel apologizes to Reiji. Seeing a change in the Demon King's behavior, the servant acknowledges Reiji and appreciates him for bringing a positive change in Angel's attitude. Therefore, he happily leaves the drugstore and asks Reiji to keep looking after Angel. Before going to the party, Reiji lies on his bed for a while reminiscing about his old days from his world. A flashback reveals that he was a sales worker in a corporate company and was frustrated with his day-to-day mundane life. He wanted to be free from his abusive seniors and from the hardships. He hated his life and wanted to go somewhere else where he could be recognized for his hard work. One day, he suddenly reaches to a different world where he gains medicine-making skills and becomes a pharmacist. Reiji is surprised to have gained those skills out of nowhere and reached a completely different world. Few steps farther, Reiji finds an injured wolf lying on the ground, wailing in pain. When he sees a basket of potions nearby, he tries to give it to the wolf. However, it stinks and isn't drinkable, so Reiji uses some of the herbs from the forest and mixes it to the potion, making it drinkable. Immediately after drinking the potion, the wolf turns into a girl. It's none other than the werewolf, Noera, who considers Reiji as her master after being saved by him. She insists on living with him and serving him. Reiji happily agrees. In the present, Mina and Noera wake Reiji up after the escort arrives at their doorstep. Soon, they reach the party in Elaine's mansion and are astonished. Immediately, Noera starts to grab the food and eat. Meanwhile, Elaine thanks Reiji, Mina, and Noera for attending the party. She also blushes while complimenting Reiji for his good looks. Not only her, but all the girls at the party praise him for being an excellent pharmacist. They ask him to marry them, as he is a handsome young man and a skilled alchemist, making Reiji blush. Later, Mina and Noera drag Reiji from the crowd to the dance floor. The episode ends with everyone dancing and enjoying the party.